Seems like we are live in this one. Let me start the vertical one as well. I guess I should be live on both the shorts stream and the normal one. Could someone confirm if I'm online? Let me just get started with the Norway Chess. Round 3 today or 4? I guess 3, right? Yeah, 3 in there. Already. Yep, this was. Yeah, I'm gonna read the chat in case I have something. Please let me know about audio and video quality as usual. We're looking at some Norway Chess today. I like this position because I have quite some knowledge about it, and I'll start to commentate in a second as soon as I have confirmation that everything is working fine. If someone can let me know on the chat. I'm dropping some frames as it seems like, but if someone can let me know on the chat, that would be. Let me see. Let me see how. Let me see. Okay, the normal one is working fine. What about the other one? The other one. Can't figure it out. Is the shorts one working or not? Fine. What about the other one? The other one. Can't figure it out. Is the shorts one working or not? What's going on here? Uh, what's going on here? Sorry guys, sorry for the delay. I'm just trying to make the vertical one work as well. It's not quite working out the way I would think it would. Uh, Sorry guys, sorry for the delay. I'm just trying to make the vertical one work as well. It's not quite working out the way I would think it would. Uh, Sorry guys, sorry for that. You think I'm online on that as well? Okay, now I think I should be online on both of them. You think I'm Right, so let's talk about this position while I get some confirmation in the chat if everything's fine or not. Online on both of them. So yeah, what we've got in this position is something we saw in candidates as well. C4, E6, knight C3, C5. In the candidates, we saw Hikaru playing C5 himself. And this was his preparation against Pragyananda, wasn't it? And we had some interesting stuff there. Uh, Firouzja goes for the classical way of playing this one. And he comes up with this one, knight f3. So now we've Hikaru playing knight f3. I'm sure Hikaru has looked at this position from both the sides. So the question really is, what sort of setup is Firouzja hoping for? Is he hoping for knight c6, then potentially g3, knight f6, bishop g2, and then he could go for the Dubov Terrash, which is reasonably trendy. So is this something that Firouzja is hoping for? We are yet to figure out. We are yet to figure out. We'll just have to wait. Until then, please let me know if everything is all right on the stream. I'll be happy to know. So I am online on the normal one. And on the shorts one. And this is the shorts one. This is the shorts. Okay, sure. Yeah, let's continue commentating. So bishop c5 could happen, could very well happen. Still no idea if guys, I would need someone in the chat to let me know if everything is okay because I have no idea. We got Sicilian Khan here. I thought this was not popular anymore. But of course, Magnus loves to experiment with these things. He's playing a6, like which is not very popular these days at all. And then he goes queen c7. So a possibility is that he might go for Sicilian Taimanov if he plays knight c6. So Pragyananda could go something like short castle, and then we could have knight c6, Sicilian Taimanov, which is a pretty enjoyable opening to play as black. I've played it in tournament games, I've played it in online games. So a reasonably enjoyable opening. Do let me know if any of you play this one particularly. But yeah, until then, everything seems to be okay. Yeah, and I'm just gonna check on my phone. Okay, right, nothing there. Is the shorts one live or not? I can't tell. Can't tell. Let me know what you guys think. If you're here, do write hi in the chat so that I know. Knight c6 played? Has it been, or is it just my move? Let's refresh to see. Yeah, queen c7 is played, so, well, hasn't been played, so we are still looking if we'll enter the Taimanov territory or not. Until then, we got quite some moves in Ding Liren Fabiano already. How did this one go? So we had bishop c4, knight f6, c3. Okay, standard Gico piano. Yeah, Ding has played this quite a lot actually, so Fabiano must be well prepared. I personally have seen play Ding. I personally have seen Ding play Queen b8 before. So Fabiano definitely knows this. He comes up with rook e2 pretty quickly, as expected. Queen a7 takes, and what is his big idea? Apparently, a4 is something he has looked at. Now, what's so special about this move? That's something we'll have to figure out. Until then, I am looking at the chat and nothing yet. Nothing yet. So we are still yet to find out what's his plan with this one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? One thing could be that, hmm, does he want b3 without, no, can't be, is he just stopping a4? That could be something. But then, isn't b3 somewhat weak? B3 seems somewhat weak. I'm still trying to figure out what the idea of this move is. Not entirely clear to me. Not entirely clear to me. I guess he'll have to reveal this. I feel like you would just have to play knight f1, right? There is no other plan that I see. But let's say black plays. If you move the knight, I want bishop b3. So what do you do here? Engine claims you still have to play knight f1, bishop b3, queen d2. Is this really something special? Is it really? Somehow rook b8 looks nice to me, but I can't see much here. Can't see much here. Am I dropping frames? What is going on today? What is going on today? Let me see. What is going on today? Let me see. Okay, the shorts one is working fine. Yeah, both of them are online, it seems like. Okay, the shorts one is working fine. Yeah, both of them are online. Okay, final. Yeah, that was the final check. I'm not going to check it anymore. Okay, so we got rook b8. We got rook b8. Most likely that will be the move. Okay, final. Yeah, that was the final check. I'm not going to check it anymore. Okay, so we got rook b8. We got rook. And yeah, okay, a4. I'm expecting rook b8 hasn't been played. Hasn't been played yet. We got Dubov Terash in Hikaru Firuja as it was expected. As it was expected. So yeah, okay. What is Alireza's big idea? Like white could just go bishop g5 or short castle. Start with short castle. I think short castle is more precise. Yep, played short castle played by Nakamura. The theory typically goes a d4, knight a4, short castle, bishop g5. You include rook e8, rook e1, and then you play h6. The point here is that we get quite a few trades, and white actually gives a pawn, but then black plays this move queen d8 and claims that with this bishop and pawns on both sides of the board, black has enough compensation. And which is not a wrong belief. Black does have compensation. Black does indeed have compensation. So what really happens is that taking here, which may seem very natural, isn't actually that good because you can't move this knight since there will always be rook d2. And then you might ask, well, can't we just play rook c1? You can, but then imagine just a move like rook takes a2, for example. Rook c6, rook b2. Let's say you even take here. Here you actually lose a piece because the knight hangs. So you can't even do that. Okay, what else can you do? You could play queen c3, which is one of the main moves. And I think Magnus Dubov went c5, rook d1, queen c7, and I think a3 was Magnus Dubov. It was either a3 or I think this was Magnus Dubov. And Magnus won this game in some World Rapid or Blitz, as far as I can recall. So this is an interesting one. Magnus did win yesterday. That was actually crazy, you know. Like, Magnus is a genius. Like, what else to say? Sakif, can you confirm if everything is fine on the stream? Could you just confirm? Because I have a shorts stream running and I have a normal one running. So, and this is the first time I'm doing that. So I'm not sure if everything is going fine or not. From my side, it seems okay, but yet to figure out from the viewers' side. Yet to figure that one out. If anyone is watching on the short stream, I recommend you come to the normal one. I think the layout is much better there. So we got short castle, d4 played, expecting knight a4, of course. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah, okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Because I was like doing shorts one and this one for the first time. Imagine if I was just speaking to myself for the last 10 minutes. That would be crazy. So we got d4 expecting knight. Let's see the other games. I want to see no updates in Fabiano Dingleren. Some updates in Pragyananda's one. Only one update, played knight f6. Carlsen hasn't gone for knight c6. My guess is that, well, actually, what's the problem? If you go here, maybe Carlsen doesn't like this one, and the knight can go to d2, or white can play c4. I think Bobby Fischer played like this once in a very similar structure, and went on to win a nice game. You can't play d5, right? Since the knight is not on c3. So what would happen is if you were to play d5, I could just take twice and your king is out in the open. However, usually in this position, let's say if white were to play knight c6, white were to play knight c3, then what would happen is after castling you could potentially play d5 and your king is not completely open because the pawn did not stand on c4. That's a difference. And maybe that's why Carlsen starts with knight f6. But this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. I am originally from India. I'm Indian, originally from India, but now I live in London. So yeah, that's me. Originally from India, but now living in London. So we got knight f6. Yeah, I moved to London like 4 years ago, 2019, almost five, almost five. Knight f6, and yeah, no other move has been played so far, has it been? Are you done with your exams? Was today your last exam? Are we done now? Are you finally free? That's fine. Not all people do, so that's completely fine. Nothing wrong with it. Then just gonna, yeah, knight f6. Very interesting structure. You know, sometimes there are ideas in these positions to play h5 knight g4 ideas. They're definitely possible given right circumstances. I'll be excited to see if something like that happens. Nakamura somehow is taking quite a fair bit of time by not playing knight a4. In fact, that's the only move. There is no other move which gives white any sort of advantage. Knight e4 is not advantageous. You have bishop h3 coming with a tempo. So knight a4 is practically the only move, and I am yet to see why Nakamura has not played that. Maybe he's just recalling some stuff. That's completely possible. Before making a move, people do recall their theory. So we got knight f6, queen e2 played, d6 played, and Pragyananda goes for this Merogzi bind with c4 and e4. Pretty solid setup against Magnus. So, and if Pragyananda knows this setup well, which there's a high chance, then yeah, Magnus will have to grind it out. Well, we saw yesterday Magnus can grind anything out. Oh wow, congratulations, congratulations. Yeah, probably the light is dim today, right? I don't know why though. The lighting on the screen. But is it okay or is it too dim? Depends on the weather in London. Sometimes you get good lighting, sometimes you don't. And the bulb in my room is at maximum brightness. Not much I can do about it. So we got c4, Meroxivine. And what else? Knight a4 played finally in Nakamura Alireza. So yeah, the forehead is kind of dim. Hmm. Uh, yeah, that's the weather problem. That's not even my problem. Let me see. Wait. Okay, maybe this is a bit better, right? Okay, let me just get rid of the curtain then. Let me just get rid of the. Oh, maybe it's too bright, isn't it? Probably too bright now. Well, it is what it is. So too much exposure now. I know. It's that's what you see in London. That's the that's London weather for you. Yeah. Actually, I think my camera might have automatically corrected it. Is it better now? My camera might have automatically corrected it because I'm using the laptop webcam and it can automatically correct. Yeah, now it's good, right? Yeah. I just noticed that I forgot my charger. But okay, I have some battery. Let's see. What else have we got? We got knight c3 played. We've got proper Meroxy bind. We got a4 here, no updates. I still don't understand a4. Like, Caruana has been making some weird moves lately. Even yesterday, he was making weird moves against Firouzja. He got a draw in the normal game and then he lost the Armageddon. I think that's what happened, right? Or did he lose in the normal game? One of them, one of those cases. So that happened, and now he's playing this a4 move. Apparently, he's playing it with preparation, but I still don't understand the idea. Hard to say what he wants. So that's that. We got a4, and still nothing in the Pragananda Carlsen, nothing here, nothing in the. Okay, Nakamura is playing unusually slow because I am certain he knows that Bishop g5 is the main move here. There is no way he doesn't know that. So, what is he taking so much time for? That's beyond me. The thing is, if Firouzja is well prepared here, most likely he'll get a draw pretty easily. If Firouzja knows more theory, you can easily equalize. I can post some great recaps. Yeah, I can make recaps. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Yeah, we could do that. You mean like a short recap or like a normal recap? In the sense that a recap on the shorts or a normal one? I potentially could, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I'm really trying to hit the two. Yeah, yeah, Gotham one. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yes. One thing I was about to say was I'm looking forward to getting 200 subscribers. So if people could join the stream and let's say, subscribe. If the viewers who are watching could subscribe, that would be awesome. So I'm looking forward to get 200. We are like 30 subscribers away. And knight c3 too slow. This is the problem with classical chess. Too slow. It was rapid. I could commentate quickly, explain the ideas very fast. But now I've got too much time. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. So, okay, a normal recap. I can do that. Yeah, possible. Possible. I think I could use the same layout as I have right here, can't I? Don't even need to change anything. Looks pretty clean, no? At least to me, it looks pretty clean. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. The thing is, if I do it in evening, then I have this tournament going on. If I do it in the morning, then nobody's free in Indian time, as I was told. Unless you think otherwise. Because if I stream, let's say 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock Indian time, then what you have is people busy in college, maybe people busy, with work. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I know what you're talking about. I get your point. Tournament recaps like Gotham does. I know. So knight a4. Where is everyone today? Usually there are more people in the chat. Today no one's there except you. What have we got? Knight e5. Okay, knight e5. Carlsen is interested in getting this bishop straight away. So Carlsen says, give me that bishop. Pretty interesting. So one thing what Pragnananda could have done is he could have started with f4 to prevent knight e5. And let's say bishop e7. Pragnananda could have then played knight c3. So this prevents Carlsen from getting the bishop pair. And since Carlsen has less space, trading one piece sort of helps him. But it's not too bad for white because this bishop is bad. So this bishop is caged in within the light square chain, right? So not too bad, not too bad. for Pragyananda. However, Carlsen has less space, so trades favor him somewhat. And this bishop can't be saved. I think you lose a pawn if you do that, right? Yeah. So this would just be loss of a pawn. Can't do that. Uh, yeah, so Pragyananda has to decide what to do. He could play. Yeah, question is what to do. He could play King H1 to go F4. Someone asked yesterday, why do you play King H1 and not F4? I think it was Ram. And then basically the idea is you're moving out of this diagonal just to give some recap. Best time to get Indian viewers is around 7:30 p.m. IST. I'll start streaming too. Let's see if I can get any viewers on my first stream. I'll join in for sure. This could be a draw. There is nothing stopping it from being a draw. Meroxybind can be a draw. Although traditionally Meroxybind has been known to be a little bit more pleasant for white. So if Carlsen is fine defending a slightly worse position, then yeah, things could happen. But Carlsen is indeed creating an imbalance. He's gaining the bishop pair. What that means is that there is an imbalance on the board, so some side can play for a win. Doesn't look like Carlsen wants a draw. Yeah, so that's that. I guess he's gonna fianchetto the bishop, right? What he's planning to do most likely is play b6, bishop b7, and fianchetto. That could be an idea. That could be an idea. Let me adjust my notes. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So we got this. Now, this one, yeah, Hikaru got a speed up. I don't know what he's doing. Pragyananda, Pragyananda hasn't lost to Carlsen in Classical. I think they've played 2 or 3 games. All of them have been draws. Pragyananda is the only player in the tournament who hasn't lost a Classical game to Carlsen yet. So, I'm not too much against Pragyananda's chances. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Did you see the news? Like Pragyananda, there was a news article talking about why Pragyananda is so good at calculation. He was doing blindfold exercises up to 15 moves of calculation. Like 15, they're calculating lines 15 moves ahead, all blindfolded. That's what he mentioned in the news article that I read. So blindfold calculation, 15 moves, analysis, and that's why his visualization is so strong, which is actually crazy. I can't do 15 moves on the board. Forget about blindfolded. 15 moves from a distance, imagine. And it's not like he's calculating one line. There are branches which he's also looking at. So like on move 5 there are 3 deviations. He's calculating all of them till move 15, which is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I guess I need to start doing something like this and build up move by move to improve my chess. I don't know about easily. I don't know about easily. If you ever play a blindfold game, it takes a lot more brain power. But you're right in one sense that some people are more accustomed to visualizing blindfolded. Some people can do it easier than others. I can do it. I can also play blindfolded. Like I can play one proper game. I have done that once. You only play blindfolded against 400s. Wow. Yeah, it's a possibility. But like Aman Gupta, the Shark Tank one. Hikaru's calculating knight takes bishop or bg5 maybe. Well, welcome to the chat, Aman. You're a new one. So welcome to the chat, or welcome to the stream, I should say. Amazing to have you here. We are joining in. New members are joining in. What's your FIDE rating, brother? My classical is 2374, so 2374. And my rapid and blitz, I don't even have an idea. Probably like 2200. You can check my FIDE ID. Uh, I seriously don't remember my rapid blitz one. My chess.com blitz is 2700, which I'm very proud of. So yeah, the Shark Tank one, obviously. Come on, come on. Nice, nice. Which game are you most looking forward to, Aman? Sakaiv says, nah, Hikaru thinking takes here, takes, and you win the game. Yeah, Hikaru could actually do that. Maybe he's going 15 moves deep like Pragyananda, who knows? It's chess.com blitz, but yeah, it's a good rating. It's a good rating. Thank you very much for that. Hikaru! Hikaru! Come on, brother. Someone needs to see the confession booth. What is Hikaru thinking about? Like Bishop g5 is the only main move which has been seen time to time. The only other possibility is Bishop f4, and I think it exists. I think Kasparov may have played it, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe in a different position. However, I highly doubt he's not going to go for Bishop g5. Personally, I don't know how the theory goes after Bishop f4. Is there something like Rook e8? Rook e1, Knight d5-ish? Or Bishop f5 maybe? Completely taking away the e4 square? It's a possibility, of course. You once played 32-30 bullet player. He cooked me. uh, Personally, wait, how did you even get paired against a 32-30 bullet player? And 32-30 bullet, there are only a few 32-30 bullet players. Like you have Nakamura, Hans, maybe Naroditsky, and maybe this one Vietnam GM. So who was it? Like, if you say a 32-30 bullet player, I think you can name them because we barely have any 3200s. Oh, it was in Witty's arena. Okay. Okay. Witty knows me actually. Well, when I was just started when I was just getting started with streaming, I think he helped me out with some stuff. Very nice guy. Yeah, only these few, only a select few. So I'm like, if you said 32-30, I thought you would know the name too. Hard name type of player, like Russian one. Hmm. I mean, who's 32-30 Russian? I'm guess Shimon? I doubt Shimonov is 3200 in bullet. Can't be Shimonov. Who else is that? Russian. Oh, Big Fish. Was it Big Fish? What do you call it? Vladimir Fedosev. Fedosev could be 3200 in Blitz or Bullet. That is believable. I think that's the only Russian. Are you sure it was not Nepomniachtchi? Because that's the only other Russian I can think of who probably is 3200 in Bullet. Could have been Nepomniachtchi, no? Ian Nepomniachtchi. And imagine he says some. Your score against Witty is 217, so I'm guessing 2 wins for you, 7 for him. Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. I have played him in Blitz. I think I have. I think I've played Witty, and my score is either equal or I'm slightly ahead. Well, doesn't like Bullet doesn't have to be like pure skill, no? Like players who are less rated than me can be higher than me in Bullet because Bullet comes a lot down to your let's say reaction time, your mouse moving skill, and chess skill, of course. So doesn't have to be like a rating correlation, a strong rating correlation. So it is not unbelievable if Fedosev is 3200. For example, Hans is like 3200 blitz. So Hans is like 3200 blitz, and then Hans is not in 2700 club yet, right? He was not anymore. He's getting close to it. So there doesn't have to be a perfect correlation always. Until then, have we seen any progress here? Okay, bishop g5 played after God knows how many minutes of thought. 15 minutes of thought. Firstly, he thinks for 6 minutes on knight a4 and then 15 minutes, nearly 16 minutes on bishop g5. Hikaru's burning time. Hikaru's burning time. And now you have bishop f6, queen f6. And this is what I expect. Like if h6 is played, which has been, you are only going for this line. There is no other way to play this one. There are move order tricks, like you can start with knight b6 or you can start with bishop c6, but the combination that you have to go for is this one. This is the main thing which happens. This is like exclusively the theory here. You're stuck on 2000, brother. Any tips how to improve? Although you're last year engineering student, so I'm focusing on campus placement right now, but still. Are you 2000chess.com or FIDE? There's a difference. So, I mean, the advice would be slightly different, slightly different. Which one? 2000chess.com or Blitz? So, 2000chess.com or FIDE? Until then, what have we got? Still no progress here. Pragyananda still thinking. I think he realized that 95 is stronger than he realized early on. Stronger than he realized. So, Pragyananda is probably thinking maybe something like King H1 is on the cards, maybe B3. No, B3 there might be B5. And the knight on C3 is unprotected. So I'm expecting King H1 sort of move. Then you can probably go for F4. Because you've got to do something, no? What you want to do is like King H1, E7. Let's say takes. What you want to do is you want to put your pawn on light squares because you have a dark square bishop. And then you hope that he plays E5, you play knight E2, and you get some sort of outpost here. This is like some sort of belief. Doesn't have to be fully correct. Another thing you could do is you could fianchetto this bishop. That's also possible. And play like rook f3, rook g3, or queen g3. Botvinnik or Alekhine played a game like this. Amazing game. I think Alekhine it was. No, not Bezati. I'm just asking you. Are you 2000chess.com or are you 2000 FIDE? I'm guessing 2000chess.com. So in this case, what you want to do? Well, if you're 2000chess.com, there is scope for improvement in your calculation. Lot of scope for improvement in your calculation. You're most likely occasionally you make blunders. So I guess that's something you have been doing. If you are on 2000, occasionally you miss your opponent's threats. So perhaps you're not paying attention to your opponent's threats. You need to start doing that more. Every time your opponent plays a move, the first thing you have to ask is, what is their plan? Once you have that sorted out, the first thing you should ask yourself is, does my opponent actually have a threat, or is it just like an illusion? So one thing that Grandmaster Sam Shankland always said, if your opponent is stopping you from doing something, the first thing you should ask yourself is, can you play it anyway? Can you play it anyway? It may or may not be the case that you can do it, but you should check that. So that's one thing that could be useful. Second thing is you probably don't have enough depth or understanding of your openings. What you want to do is you want to go on ChessBase, you want to filter your openings, and then you want to analyze some games based on certain variations that you don't feel comfortable in. That would be a great advice. And then what you want to do is you made me forget what I was going to say. You want to solve puzzles regularly, of course. That's true for any level. That's something you need to do. So best opening for me, Caro-Kann KID. There is nothing such as best opening. There is no concept such as best opening. It depends on what you feel is more natural to you. Do you prefer more aggressive chess? If you do, then KID is good enough. Do you prefer solid chess? Then Caro-Kann is good. Do you prefer a mixture of solidity and spiciness? Even then Caro-Kann is good. But if you, let's say, like some solidity and some sharp chess, then you could play Sicilian Scheveningen. And if you exclusively like sharp chess, you could also play Sicilian Najdorf. Najdorf is one, so you could have a look there. A FIDE master rated 3200 in Bullet. That's crazy. Oh, is that the Russian kid? There is this one Russian kid who's 2500 FIDE, but a FIDE master. I think I know who it may have been. There is a Russian kid who's like 14 years old, 2550 FIDE, but a FIDE master. Maybe he's just about to get his norms. Oh, Manu David. Ah, Manu David. Yeah, I know Manu David. I've played Manu David actually in Sunway Sidges 2019 or 2022. No, not 2019. Can't be 2019. Maybe. Played him in Sunway Sidges. It was a draw. It was a pretty nice draw. Manu David is a good player. We had a Sicilian Rossolimo, if I remember correctly. Sicilian Rossolimo. He's almost no, he's pretty good at online chess. What's his FIDE actually? Yeah, no worries, no worries. A great book for you would be this one. I'm going to mention a book in the chat. Uh, if you have time to read books, which I probably guess you don't, but if you do, this is like a golden book. Shoot your rating up. Oops. I'm going to write the book in the chat. This book is going to shoot up your chest, believe me. So this book and then talk to me about your rating. But if you do this book religiously. Until then, do we have any moves? Nope. But do always pay attention to your opponent's threats. Like that's a thing so many players neglect. And Sam Shankland said, well, this is a famous saying, but when you're in a calculation mode, you have to be seeing checks and captures immediately, all the checks and captures immediately. That thing helped me so much in calculation, and it made my calculation process so efficient that it was crazy. Like Sam Shankland has contributed a fair bit to my chess improvement because I've watched his lectures, I have done his calculation course. Well, part of it, but still. This one is getting sharp. So what is the big idea here? Knight f1 played as was expected. I still don't know why rook b8 wasn't played because I thought knight f1 could then be met with bishop b3. So knight d7 here, he wanted f5, didn't play f5, played d5 instead. And then we had d4, which is pretty natural. If you do take here, I can take with the knight, no? Or pawn, which one? If I take with the pawn, bishop, where? Bishop e7 or? I like bishop e7, controls everything here. So if I could play queen c2 attacking c6, I don't think it means much. I can just take rook e4 and c5 or bishop d5. No, bishop d5 blunders, of course. C5. C5. And I don't see many problems for black here. Like, I could always play knight f6, attack the rook, safeguard my king. Looks pretty solid for black to me. But Caruana still in his preparation, most likely. He's played d4 very quickly. So, I don't know the idea. Can you share some of your life story? How you became FM? When do you start? Where are you from? Is chess your... Okay, you want my life story? No. I started playing chess at 11. A friend taught me the moves and I played like CBSE zonals. I played well there. So ever since then I got hooked up into chess, but really it was because a friend taught me the moves. He took me to the chess club in school, if you want to call it a chess club, and we played. Then eventually he quit chess, but I did not, and I was hooked into this game. It seemed very interesting to me. Also, I am a mathematician, so chess appealed to me naturally. And I'm from Delhi, of course, India. But so I've played chess since I was 11. Now I am 19. It has been 8 years. I was very close to becoming an FM before COVID. So what happened was, I moved to London in 2019, and by 2019 December, I had reached 2272 FIDE rating. And then COVID came, so I could not play. What happened was, after COVID, I lost my momentum completely and I was reaching my higher studies. So it took me some time to gain rating because I lost all my momentum. In fact, when after COVID I just played, I lost 100 points straight away. And then I had to bounce back. So it's not a childhood interest. I got it quite late by professional standards. I started playing at 11. Why London? Because my dad had a job transfer. So, like, he was managing the business in London for the company he's working in. So, basically, yeah. Yeah, I'm 19. I look old, don't I? I look older. I know, I know, I know. But I'm turning 20 in August, if that makes any difference. I know I look older. D4 played. How old would you say I look? So D4 played, still looking for something else. You know what happened once? 23, 24. Oh, wow. Maybe the beard, no? Huh? Oh, 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 dude. Okay. 23 plus. You damn, damn. Okay, guys, I need to bring my charger. Give me like a couple of minutes. If the stream needs to continue, I need to bring my charger. I'll be lucky for you. Lucky for you. Lucky for you. Yeah, I'm just bringing my charger, guys. I'll be back in a second. No, it's you look younger than what you are, right? So in one sense, that's like aging nicely, you could say. But how? But also it depends. Sometimes it depends on your height as well. No, maybe, but I guess not that much. Maybe mostly to your face. Yeah, mostly your face. I will add you on chess.com. Just send me a request. I'll add you. No problems. No problems. So d4 played. Still looking for other things here. What have we got? We got b3. Yeah, b3 played. This was like Botvinnik's choice or Alekhines' choice? Most likely Alekhine. I remember one Alekhine game like this. Very similar structure. He got some excellent attack with Queen G3 and then he had Knight F5 sacrifices as well. Amazing Alekhine game. He got lot of attack on this king. What's your ID? It is I think it's like TC on YouTube. You'll find it pretty easily. Imagine I don't even know my username. That's embarrassing. Let me check for you. It is TC underscore on YouTube, if I remember correctly. TC stands for my name Tanmay Chopra. So yeah, you'll find it pretty easily. Alekhine was a legend. Absolutely, absolutely. Alekhine's combinations were so good, it's actually crazy. Like, if you want to improve your calculation, one thing you could do is you could study Alekhine's games. Alekhine has a book on his own games. Like, it's maybe like Alekhine's best games or something, written by himself. And we have excellent knowledge in that book with calculation. With calculation. Still, this one's slow. This one's slow. Funny that you talk about me looking older. You know what happened? I was sitting my exam, first year college exam, right? University exam. What happened is the examiner specifically came to me and asked me if I'm in the first year because I looked so old. He came and just asked me, "Are you actually in the first year?" It was quite funny to me. Like, imagine the examiner refuses to believe, or invigilator as you might call him, that I was in first year. Had to show him my lanyard, I-card, what you call it here. Yeah. So this is not the first time. No, I'm not graduated. I am in second year of university. No. Well, I will be entering second year in September because session here starts in September. So second year university student. Well, to be a second year university student. H3 played by Pragyananda. Was H3 really necessary? Oops, I got rid of the game. Hikaru played H3 as well. What is this? Okay, he did not want to go into that theory, so he played H3. It's a possibility. At least it will make Firuza think for a second. But this is like taking out of opening territory. C1 took Firuza out of opening territory. But now Firuza has the bishop pair, right? If you're not taking on d4, if you're not playing that setup, then Firuza has the bishop pair. The only compensation for white is this pressure here. So this is Hikaru's new idea, over the board inspiration, not going for theoretical line with knight b6 and bishop c6 before playing rook c1. Gucci Reza, yes, Gucci Reza. Let me see. I don't see it yet. Uh, friends, I don't see it yet. Has me yet? Are you sure you sent it to TC on YouTube? No, I don't see it. It's usually available here. Yeah, I'll check afterwards, but I'll surely accept it, of course. What's your ID though? What do I need to be looking for? H5 could be played, or has H5 been played yet? No, not yet. Possibility. You could play H4, create weaknesses here. The point of H3 was to stop bishop G4 and pressure here. somehow looks a little bit wrong to me. You know why it looks a little bit wrong? Because I see a bishop here, and g3 pawn could be weak. f2 could be weak. You could argue that white can always take on b6, so it's not a big problem. Yeah, you would be right with that. No disagreement there. But let's say Gucci Reza plays bishop f5. What happens? We get knight c5, and we get maybe d3 is a possibility, or you could take as well. Let's say you take, simplifying. Then d3 is a possibility, and you play takes. This is like Pragyananda's game against Dingliren yesterday. He gives up a pawn here, but takes a pawn here. Exactly the same thing. Aman Gupta 20 is your ID. Okay. Still haven't got anything, but I'll send you a friend request myself after the stream. No worries. Why not take knight and then pawn? Won't that extra pawn be beneficial in the endgame? I don't even get these 800 elo chess. Even yesterday, Hikaru gave up pawn so easily and then lost in the endgame. Uh, no, it's not as easy. Firstly, there doesn't have to be an endgame. I think you're talking situation which I mentioned. So something like this, right? You're asking what happens if we just gain a pawn. The thing is, if we go for this endgame, which probably what you're referring to, it's not as easy to convert your extra pawn because look where your extra pawn is. It's 4 versus 3. So your extra pawn is only beneficial if you can create a pass pawn on this side of the board. Can you create it so quickly? No, you absolutely can't. Plus, you have two problems. You have to prevent this rook infiltrating the d file, and you have to prevent this a2 pawn from falling after something like bishop e6. So, as easy as you would think it is, although optically it looks easy. So, one thing that could happen is try to make a move here. Let's say you play a move like a3. Well, let me just defend this pawn. I play bishop e6. And where do you put the knight? If you put the knight, let's say on c1, then my rook is entering the d file. And then you start to feel some sort of pressure. And you realize that your extra pawn isn't all that much, really. This is what happens. Can you please help me prepare? Can you just play a game with me on Leeches? Tomorrow's my precious OTB round. I'm commentating on this tournament. How can I just leave the stream and play with you? But feel free to talk to me after the stream. This stream will, but it will be too late for you though. What time is your? You know what? Email me with what kind of opening preparation you want. I can email you something, some opening preparation. Let me know what your opponent plays, and I can give you some material possibly. Aman, in simple terms, black has activity. In simple term, black has activity for the sacrificed pawn. That's your compensation. In very simple terms, I just showed you the concrete way to get that activity. But the logical reasoning is that there is activity for black. But technician, I am very happy to provide you with some, let's say, opening files, or if you want me to analyze your game after the stream. I just can't leave the stream right now, unfortunately. What have we got here? So we got something here. We got knight d4, and I'm looking for rook a e8 as a possibility. Actually, knight d4 for Fabiano might be doing fine here. Somehow things changed. Wait a second. Was knight d7 actually not precise then? Aman Gupta, we can't play a blitz match right now. But I can, I see your friend request, so I'm going to accept that. Accepted. So yeah. Another tab? No, the thing would get changed, and this is a commentary. Uh, if I change the tab, what would happen is it's a display capture, right? So it will capture that thing. Plus, I need to commentate. I can't play a blitz match just randomly. Ah, okay, okay. I see you. I see you. Sure, sure, sure. No problems. No problems. But email me with anything you want. My email is in the YouTube description, but I'll tap it in the chat as well. Your opponent plays open Sicilian after d6, bishop b5. You're black. Oh, this is. Yeah, I have analyzed this quite extensively because I played a lot of games. Let's talk about this for a second. Let me give you some insights. So, what might happen is you play this one, and your opponent goes for bb5 check. Now, how familiar are you with theory in knight d7? Because there is some big theory here. And what's your opponent's rating? Let me know these answers and then I'll continue with your thing. Until then, let's see what has happened here. Knight d4, attacking two things here. But Ding must have thought about something, otherwise why did he play d5? Also, I still don't know why rook b8 wasn't played. You just want to make this knight f1 move bad since you can play bishop b3. This is what I liked. This is what I liked. Alternatively, you could have also played rook e8 and you prevent any d4 ideas since the rook keeps pressure here. White could still play d4, but this is not as effective anymore because I can take cd, let's say, and there is bishop c4. So this was my thought, but Ding has other ideas in mind, and d4 is a good move, knight d4 is good, and two things to prevent here. Uh, your opponent is unrated and 1300 online. You don't need opening preparation. Against an unrated opponent, you don't need opening preparation, mate. I thought you were I thought you were in like A grade tournament, like 2000 plus tournament. And then you had like a serious match with God knows like how much prize money on the line. You're unrated and you're 1300. You want opening preparation for what? Your opponent could blunder on move number 10. Yeah, no worries, Aman. Your opponent could blunder on move number 10. What kind of opening preparation are you looking for, mate? But okay, let's continue. But okay, if you still want something, ask me after the stream. I'll give you some analysis. No worries, Aman. See you. F5 could be played. This is what I talked about. F5 is an excellent move here. And it makes even more sense since black has moved the bishop from c8 to b7. That means e6 is a bit more tender. So you could, of course, play f5, e5, knight e2. The reason you go knight e2 is because you want to play bishop g5, take this knight, and then put this knight on d5. You eliminate who is controlling the d5 square. So this would be an excellent idea. Another point of knight e2 is that after rook c8, attacking the pawn, you play b3, and after b5, I can just simply win a pawn since this knight defends this knight. So black cannot play queen takes c3. Although black can sack a pawn if he wants, which is interesting. Black can sack a pawn. So you don't need to take a pawn. You could play rook b1. That's a possibility as well, although difficult move to see. Rook b1 is not easy to see at all. That you allow this pawn to be taken this way, but you put pressure on the bishop. Nimzowitsch called these type of moves mysterious rook moves because they anticipate a capture on c4 and then they look for these ideas. Bishop a8, you have bishop e3, And you cannot still take, since after takes, I have a rook b8 check and I win the bishop. I'm not 1300 unrated or whatever your opponent is. Okay, let me get this straight. Your opponent is 1300 and unrated, and you are 2165. And you are the one who's concerned. Let me just show you some lines for the sake of it. Let me just show you some lines. Now, answer the question. Are you more familiar with bishop d7 or knight d7? If you don't know much theory, bishop d7 is easier to play. This is much easier to play. Then what you want to do is, if they take, you want to take with the queen. The reason you want to take with the queen is that you can put a knight on c6. The knight belongs on c6. The typical line goes something like castles, knight c6. They usually play c3, knight f6. You develop the two knights. What they'll mostly do, well, at least what the top players do, is they play queen e2, defending the pawn, and they try to get d4. How do you respond to that? You play e6. And if they play d4, you say, well, you can have the center, but I will get my fair share too. You counteract with d5. Let me flip the board for your convenience. So you want to play queen d7, knight c6, c3 to get d4. Then you play knight f6, queen e2, and you play e6. This is more convenient. And after takes, you essentially get a French defense position. Knight e4 is the main move, I think. Yeah, you essentially get a French defense position, but without the bad bishop on c8. So this is not bad for you at all. It's an equal position. You'll have to grind it out positionally. The problem with this bishop b5 line is that it's hard to get advantage out of the opening. So you'll have to grind it out. Like there is no objective way to get advantage for black. But you have to grind it out. You can gain equality fairly easily after d5, knight e4. The other thing is that your opponent might go for Meroxy bind setup, as we saw in this game. Then what you want to do, two things to explore. The one I'll show you. One is this knight f6 setup. And against this knight c3 setup, you don't want to play e6 anymore. You want to go for g6 setup. You can gain the full diagonal for your bishop. Since the pawn stands on c4 and not c3, c3 would be blunting the bishop on g7. So now you can go for g6 idea. And let's say they play d4, which is common. You take and play bishop g7, of course. Bishop e3. And bishop e3 would be a mistake since you have knight g4 straight away. So what they have to do is they have to play, I think they have to do h3. I'm not, what's the move here? I forgot. Maybe knight e2 to just get rid of this knight out of the diagonal. And then you can go for this plan with short castle, a6, b5. That's a pretty standard plan. So these are a couple of ideas you should know. Yeah, these are a couple of ideas you should know. But your best idea would be to go on ChessBase, filter this position, and watch some games, analyze some games. That would be your best option. To know the ideas in the middle game is more important for you. Until then, what do we have here? Queen b6, defending. This is not problematic for Fabiano anymore. Like, white could just play knight g3, even could put this knight on h5, attack g7, or could go to f5. Both are possible. But I'm yet to find the best move because black might be threatening bishop d4 soon. At some point. So I could play bishop e3 actually. The rook protects the b2 pawn. So bishop e3 is a possibility. Let's say you grab this pawn. Might seem like a free pawn to you. It's actually a blunder of a piece. So that works out fairly well. You're not good at middle game. Any tips? Well, what are you going to do one day before the tournament? In general, if you're not good at middle game, the first thing in general is to improve your calculation because that's the most important part of chess. How do you improve calculation? Puzzles is the main way. And for calculation theory, to know the correct technique of calculation, you'll have to watch my streams a little bit more. But if you resource to calculate, to learn calculation, your best option is Sam Shankland's calculation course, which you can find somewhere on the internet or you may have to purchase. CCTP, checks captures. What is CCTP? Checks captures. I don't know what CCTP is. So, yeah. The first thing you need to do is you need to improve your calculation. Threat pawn break. Okay, I don't put it like that, but yeah, checks captures. Yeah, forcing moves and threats is the same thing. You can always look for pawn breaks as well. Yeah, that's a good idea. But sometimes in attacking, you also have to play calm moves. Calm moves who make a very, very small threat can be good as well. Ian, welcome to the chat. So nice to see you again. That's my issue too. You are usually ahead coming out of the opening, but at some point I don't see a clear good move and I'll be deciding between two pawn moves. Always pick the wrong one. Huh. Yes. One thing is when to make a pawn break is a very important skill in chess. And it's a very hard skill. When to carry out the pawn break, for example, is not an easy thing to always know. You can always time it prematurely. But one thing to sort that out is always to be able to calculate more precisely. And so puzzles help for that. And Sam Shankland's calculation course is amazing. Yes. But experience also helps. If you are analyzing your games thoroughly, experience will build up and eventually you'll be more precise with that. I'll give you an example. Uh, I was a bad attacker like a few years ago. And the problem I would always have is in an attacking position, I would often trade queens prematurely. I would not understand when to conduct my attack while keeping queens on the board or to conduct the attack in a, let's say, favorable queenless middle game. I would not be able to assess what provides me better chances. How did I learn that? Firstly, I got a solid foundation of attacking principles and I read some courses or I read some books on attacking play. And then I built a reservoir of knowledge of those positions. So I looked at many attacking positions of top players and I looked at when they were trading queens and when they were not. With that, I created some general rules for myself. And based on that, I would be able to evaluate more precisely when to trade the queens and when not to. So this is an example of how you fix an issue. You want to build a reservoir of knowledge around that issue. And this was an advice I got from Grandmaster Matthew Sadler, one of the best British chess players. I asked him, how do you get better at evaluating positions? He said, build a reservoir of knowledge around certain pawn structures or in certain positions you are bad at evaluating. And by reservoir of knowledge, he means more model examples in your head. I hope that's a very detailed explanation. F5 played, Pragyananda showing great understanding of the position. And has played Queen d7, which is very conservative. Very conservative. He did not push e5, which actually would be committal. So he plays Queen d7, a Carlsen-like thing to do. But Pragyananda actually does have some advantage after bishop g5. Because you're threatening to ruin black's pawn structure. Carlsen has no option whatsoever but to respond with bishop e7. And Pragyananda can actually put two threats at the same time. He could play rook d1. The rook puts pressure on the d file, the bishop puts pressure along the diagonal. So Pragyananda seems to be doing very well here. Then Pragyananda could slide his queen across to g3 and put pressure on d6, f6 and g7. So this could work out well. Also, when you move your queen away, you are targeting the d file directly. So you could also have e5 ideas. Atharv, hi, how's it going? Prag winning or is it an analysis board evaluation? He's not winning, but he has some advantage for sure. Because he has attack, so he has some advantage for sure. He has some advantage for sure. Because, yeah, Carlsen's queen d7 was a little bit imprecise, but it is very hard to judge whether to play e5 or queen d7. Very, very hard to judge, so I don't blame him at all. Perhaps if I were to play this position, even I would play queen d7. There is a high chance I would have made the same error. Yeah, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I see more people are joining in finally. We have. Okay, Hikaru's game has had some updates. I need to refresh this one. Okay, he played c5. I told you, well, I mentioned that the only possible hope of counterplay is along this diagonal and on b7. So Ali, oh, wow. You know what the top line of engine is, which is completely beyond me? Ali Reza has to play rook b8. Hikaru plays g4 and Ali Reza has to go back to c8. This is engine's top line, at least at a lower depth, which is pretty crazy to me. I don't think a human is capable of playing like that, so Ali Reza is not going to go for this. What I believe is a more practical way is to sack this pawn for activity, which we have been seeing is a recurring theme in this tournament, sacking a pawn for initiative. So one thing Ali Reza could do is play a move like knight e5, completely give up this pawn, and claim there is no good way to take this pawn. If you take with the bishop, firstly, the h3 pawn is hanging, so you can't do that. If you were to take with this knight, then there is a slight problem with d3. This bishop gets into the picture. So you might want to eliminate this bishop, and then I can put this intermediate move d takes e2. Queen takes e2, and after ab6, I claim that this knight is misplaced. And I have some compensation like this and this. So this is a practical way. There is a practical way. If Pragananda wins, my YouTube will fill with his reels. Chessbase India would go crazy. Yeah. Sagar Shah would definitely do some edits on him. Crazy line, right? Atharv, did Atharv ask about best chess opening? I don't think even. Oh, he did ask for it. But yeah, but Sakyev is right. There is no concept of a best chess opening. But I believe, I strongly believe, and it's a consensus in the chess community, that if you can play Roy Lopez with either side, with both white and black pieces, if you can play Roy Lopez from both white and black pieces, you have a solid understanding of positional chess. Well, uh, unofficially, some people claim that if you can play Roy Lopez from both sides, you know 50% of the chess. I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's not a huge exaggeration. If you can play that from both sides, you have a solid understanding in positional play. So maybe that's something you want to explore. I think Mikhail Botvinnik once said that this guy, this GM called Lev Polugaevsky, who was a great Naidov player, he said Lev Polugaevsky could have been a potential world champion if he played Roy Lopez. But he lacked some understanding of positional play because he never played Roy Lopez. This is what Mikhail Botvinnik said about Lev Polugaevsky. But he was an excellent Naidov player if you want to have a look. Sicilian Naidov. You just play Vienna and win to 1800 with that. Yeah, because Vienna has tricks, and if people don't know the theory, they can do that. You can get to a reasonable rating with Vienna. But there's nothing wrong with Vienna. I'm just telling you what I know. So I love to play royal pace from both sides. I like it more for white than for black, I'll be honest with you. But I play it with both sides. And no matter how boring as it may seem, Berlin Endgame has a lot of knowledge positionally. Even if you don't want to play it in tournament games, if you want to improve your positional understanding, the Berlin Endgame is pretty solid. Yeah, I think I may have an idea of what you're talking about. Is that the one with knight a5? Knight a5, you take the c4 bishop and then you force some play. Is that the one you're talking about? I think that's one line. But Vienna has quite some tricks if your opponent does not know the theory. Until then, until then, uh, no more updates here. Oh, Pragananda has played bishop g5. Guys, yeah. Yeah, sure, Ian. Let's recap. Let's recap. You missed good insights in this one. Let me give you those insights. So we had this Sicilian Khan with a6, which is not as popular these days. The more popular move here is knight c6, knight c3, queen c7. Sicilian Taimanov, as they call it. This is more popular these days. But Carlsen goes for this a6 move, bishop d3, queen c7, reasonable. And now something interesting happens. Pragyananda goes for short castling. And a very instructive insight was that Carlsen starts with knight f6 and not knight c6. And the reason will become clear in a second. If you start with knight c6, white can take and play c4. This is something Bobby Fischer did once. And what the difference here is, since white's knight is not on c3 and the pawn is not back on c2, black cannot play d5. This would be a terrible mistake since the king is out in the open and white has a big advantage here. What usually happens is that white starts with knight c3 and then you can play knight c6. The difference being that in this line you can play d5 and the king is not completely out in the open since the pawn on c4 was never there. That's a big difference. So I think that's a very instructive insight. And what happens now is that after bishop d3, queen c7, short castle, Carlsen instead starts with knight f6. And after Pragyananda plays queen e2, potentially with same problem that takes c4, Carlsen decides not to play knight c6 and plays d6 instead to avoid that problem. Pragyananda plays c4 and Carlsen develops the knight on d7 because he understands those subtleties connected with knight c6. Pragyananda now makes I won't call it imprecise, but perhaps he underestimates Carlsen's idea, which was to gain the bishop pair with knight e5. You can't retreat the bishop since c4 would be hanging, so you have to give up the bishop, which is what happens. And now Carlsen gets a fianchettoed bishop on this diagonal, completely unopposed, but he leaves something. He leaves e6 a bit tender. And notice, white has a dark square bishop. Where does he want to put the pawns? Light squares. What does he play? f5. Now, if you play e5, Pragyananda has two options. He could either play knight c2, knight e3, knight d5, or he could play knight e2, connected with the idea of bishop g5, get rid of this knight and put the knight on d5. So Carlsen avoids this and plays queen d7. This, on the other hand, has other problems, which is connected with bishop g5. You're now putting pressure here on f6, and your queen will put pressure on d6. Carlsen's only move was bishop e7, and now you could play a move like rook d1. Putting pressure here, you could play queen g3, putting pressure here, and you could play e5, connected with the ideas along this line. Okay, that was a very detailed explanation, but but I hope that helps. My job is to help you improve your chess. So I thought I'd just give a detailed explanation. You know, like some streamers, I don't like to just give you stockfish lines. I don't think that's useful. Anyone can use stockfish, right? My job is to explain some concepts which I have gained understanding of since understanding from, let's say, my knowledge, like from books. Is the e4 e5 e4 e5 knight c3 knight f6 f4 d5 fe knight e4 queen f3. Queen f3 is Gotham's move. Queen f3 knight c6 bishop b5. I've not seen bishop b5 before. Knight c6 knight c3, you mean? dc3 queen h4 g3 queen e4 queen e4, then just trade the queens and boring endgame. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, possibly. Change the board. Do you guys agree? Do you all want me to change the board? Like, depends on the majority opinion, no? If everyone thinks it's fine, then we can continue. What do you guys think? Change the board or this one is fine? What do you want? Do you want the blue one? To Minecraft board. Okay, both of you want to change. Let's see. Okay, no, Sakif, that's not happening. Not Minecraft board, Roblox pieces. Ian is fine with this one. I can show you some options. Let's look at some options. Yeah, I understand. I understand the point. I don't like those things as well. We could go. Wooden. Wait. So not sky. No, this is bad. This is bad. Uh, what was it before? I forgot what was it before. Nope. Do you guys want this one? Is this one better? Which one's Hikaru's? Is this one better, first of all? Is this one reasonable? What do you guys think? Nah, I don't like the red one. Nah. What about this one? Is this one better from the previous one or worse? I can change back to the original one. Change pieces. No, I don't like wood. Maybe these pieces? Yeah, they are. I think these pieces look better. Guys, I can't do this right now. I'm coming. I can't do that right now, but I can do this one. I think this one looks cleaner. To me, it looks cleaner. Can't do a rapid game, unfortunately, right now. What do you mean OG ones? I don't understand. You've got to be more precise. But okay, let's see what has happened. Guys, let's focus on chess here. I was actually using the same board as officialchess.com one. So you guys made me change from officialchess.com one. Okay. Firuja has taken, which is possible. And now, are we getting a d3 sack or not? Or are we getting simply b3? b3 is crazy though. Like putting your knight in this open diagonal seems a little bit. But although there is not much after bishop e4, if these bishops get traded, white has no advantage. So if this line concretically works, then Hikaru has no advantage. So I guess he has to start with queen a4 because you want to prevent the exchange of bishops. Knight e5. Bishop a8 is Stockfish's recommendation. I don't know. This seems weird. Don't know. Not sure about this one. Maybe not b6 then. I'm not sure about. I like d3 more. I think d3 is more practical. Green is OG. Okay. Yeah. So let's stay with this one. Yeah. My ELO, my FIDE rating is 2374. Classical. You don't understand Firuja's latest move, which is taking on c5, right? Uh, about it for a second. Why take on c5? The idea of this move will become clear with his next plan, with his next few moves. He'll demonstrate the idea. Even it's not clear to me just yet, but he'll make it clear with his next move. Possibly, if he's trying to play d3, then he can take on b2, and the knight on a4 does not defend b2 anymore. That could be one idea. Are you on Telegram? I am on Telegram, but I don't know what my name is. It should be like Tanmay or something. No, classical 2374. And chess.com blitz 2700. So, yeah, that's that. You can also have my email, which is probably in my bio, or it's in the description as well. All of you can FIDE rapid rating, maybe 2200 or 2100. I don't know. 2200, I think 2200. FIDE, FIDE. But you can always go onto my FIDE ID and check for yourself. I might not know precisely. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions regarding the chess thing? Bishop takes d4. This is something. So Dingleren is saying that you can take the bishop and put pressure on g7. Seems a little bit sketchy, no? Like there is one tactic that I could play takes and bishop g7, and then this hangs. So c5 is not possible. That means you have to play queen b3. And then can I not conduct some attack here? Is it not easy to do that? I guess you are actually threatening c5. Queen. Look how tricky queen b7 is. After c5, e takes d5, bishop takes d5, you get pressure over g2 as well. So it's not as easy. Say I take. Say you take with the bishop, then I can go rook e7. Not this one. Rook e7. And I can gain some pressure. So you have to play this one. Threatening c5. What could I do now? What could I do now? I want to get pressure on g7. That's my only hope of advantage. So let's say I start with knight g3 potentially. Let's say I start with knight g3. The idea is to go knight h5. c5, can I even sack? Unlikely. But let's say bishop e3. And then I can put this rook on d2. Put pressure here. Maybe go queen h5. Those sort of ideas. Although it does seem like black is consolidating somehow. Let's say rook e8, rook here. Yeah, it doesn't actually... Okay, this is not possible. The pawn is hanging. But after rook c8, knight f6 idea, and black maybe consolidates completely. Interesting, very interesting. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we can potentially play after the stream, yeah. But I will do like a playing with subscribers stream very soon, so it's better if you come there. I'll do one very soon. Perhaps to the thing is I can't do it tomorrow because you guys are not free. Do this after the tournament. But yeah, I will be doing playing with subscribers stream quite soon. Until then, just bear with me on this one. Enjoy the commentary, guys. Yeah. Let's see. Still, no. You are Indian, right? Not all the people in the group or in the chat are Indian. Plus, if I only speak in Hindi, the problem would be that I would never be able to attract audience from different countries. So, yeah, that's one thing. But of course, maybe I would need to make a different channel for Hindi one. I answered all your questions. I told you I'm 2370, 2374 classical, around 2200 in rapid FIDE. And you can always check my FIDE ID. I already answered your questions. And I did say I am on Telegram. I did say I answered all of them. And we can either play after the stream. You can send me an email. We can work something out. Yeah, that would be the best option. Bro, I said my ratings. How many times do I need to say it? Just Google Tanmay Chopra FIDE. You will get all your answers there. All your answers. 2700 chess.com blitz. I don't know what I'm on chess.com rapid. 2374 FIDE classical. 2200 FIDE rapid. That's your answers. I'll play a game with you after the stream. Email me. We'll work something out. I'm not answering the same question again. Any updates here? Rook D1. Pragyananda's playing everything precisely. Carlsen is in trouble. You know, Pragyananda wins this one. Wow, that would be crazy. Sagar Shah's gonna farm clips. So this looks very interesting. Until then, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Have I missed a question? I don't think so. I think I've answered all the questions. Well, what I can see on my chat. Uh, I am 2374 classical, so 2200 in classical is equal to 2700. 2200 in classical, I would say you are like 20, 25, 2600 chess.com blitz. You could be, yeah. 2200 classical, you're probably 2550 chess.com blitz. That would be like standard conversion. There's always a difference of 300, 400 points between your online and your actual rating. 300 to 400 points. Sometimes it can be less than that. Any updates? No, Carlsen has to think, man. Carlsen has to think here. This is not easy. Because castle, let's say castle, a very interesting line could be queen g3. Maybe threatening bishop h6. Maybe threatening takes e5. Maybe threatening directly e5. Who knows? So Carlsen would have to play e5. I think he would now have to commit to that move. I don't see another option because king h8, if you just move out of that pin, I have e5 straight away. And if you take, I have knight takes e6, which wins since f8 is hanging. So what you could have instead is a move like e5, and then it's a question, do you take on f6 or not? One idea is that you remaneuver this knight to e3 and get an outpost on d5. But is it that easy? Let's say I play knight e3. I mean, Pragyananda would not lose this if he can get this knight safely on d5. Black will have to break on the queen side to get some play. And I would expect this knight to jump in. Bishop d5, knight d5, queen d8, defending the f6 bishop. And a position like this is very likely. Black does get some pressure here though, so it's not as easy for Pragananda, although he's still better. These sort of ideas, rook lefts are always in the air. He'll have to calculate. He'll have to calculate. So this is what I'm looking at. This is what I predict. My email is in the description. It's in the description. Also in my bio. Kendrick or Drake? Oh, we are asking the real questions here. Uh, um, okay, stop spamming. Stop spamming. The email is in the description. It's in the description of the stream. So, by the way, the answer was Kendrick. Although J. Cole is my favorite. So, yeah. What do you mean? Man. Okay, I'm typing it for you. Yeah. After Eminem. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, objectively, Eminem is probably the GOAT. Yeah. Objectively speaking. But after that, J. Cole. Okay, B6 played. And knight D3. Okay, no advantage for Hikaru anymore. Bishops get traded. White's pressure on this diagonal is gone. No advantage for Hikaru anymore. It's equal position now. Telegram username, I don't know. I would have to find out. Let me see if I can find it out for you. Um, it just says that, like on my phone, it just says Tanmay. Just says Tanmay on my phone. Okay, no worries. Any other questions, guys? Pragyananda's really clinching here. Carlsen didn't even castle. He played Pragyananda's +2 now, but only because of one move. If Pragyananda has to find this idea, only one move is giving him good advantage. And he has to find the move Queen E2. The idea of E5. Only chance for a good solid advantage. If not, he'll probably play B3, but then he has to deal with B5, which is a pawn sack by Carlsen to get pressure on the E4 pawn. So Queen E2 has to be found. Not an easy move at all. Not an easy move at all. This move is tricky, like because you have to see this idea of E5. And then if black plays E5 to stop E5, then you have to take and play knight C2 with the same idea of either this way or this way. Not easy to see. Queen C7, for example, knight E3, bishop G5, and knight D5. He has to play this way. Now you may ask what happens if black takes. Queen G4. I'm not interested in exchanging queens because I'll get knight B6 some way. If you play bishop F6, I just play king H2. I move out of this diagonal, safeguarding my king. F6 is under trouble, B6 is under trouble, D6 is under trouble. Black is under trouble. How much rating will winner get? How to release stress, anxiety, nervousness by? Go to profile and check what written after at. I don't see an at. I was looking for an at, but I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Set username. Ah, okay, I can set a username. Let me set it up. Yeah, I've set up the username. I'm typing it in the chat. Did it not go through? Yeah, this is my username. How much rating will winner get? If Pragyananda wins, he's going to get approximately 6 or 7 points. 7, I would say. I think he'll get 7 points. If Carlson loses, he's going to lose 7 points. Yeah, approximately. Approximately. And how to release stress, anxiety, nervousness? I am not an expert in that field. I can't give you some advice on that. I'm not an expert. You are better consulting some health expert there. I have no idea. I think stress is natural. Like, even when I'm playing a tournament, I feel okay. Sorry, there, Pragnananda. Sorry. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Pragyananda slips off the tongue easily. So Pragnananda. Doesn't Sagar Shah also say Pragyananda, or does he say Pragnananda? Am I the only one? Actually, Sir Sagar Shah. What is Sagar Shah? Sir Sagar Shah. That guy deserves all the respect in the world. Okay, Queen B7 played. Deng is acting tricky. Queen C2 played. I do not believe in any advantage for white. We should be expecting a peaceful result here. A knight e5 I potentially see as a move. Maybe maybe rook e6 as well. Keeping it calm. Keeping it P, as they say. He is so underrated. Yeah, Pragyananda. Yeah, he's uh isn't already very popular now. I think he's perfectly rated. Maybe slightly on the underrated side, but not too much. Uh I think he's gotten enough fame. I think he's close to being perfectly rated. Oh, Sagar Shah. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Sagar Shah is underrated, of course. The thing is, the reason he's underrated is because no, actually, no, sorry. I was about to claim a reason, but no, that's not a valid one. Yeah, I still don't know why he's underrated. Because all of you are watching Gotham. Yeah, that's the reason. All of you are watching Gotham. So you're watching Gotham instead of Sagar Shah. That's why. And in fact, some of you are giving more attention to Buddhism than Sagar Shah, which is crazy in my opinion. Sorry if there are any Buddhist fans in the comment section. Sagar Shah deserves more viewership than Buddhist sisters. He has done much more for the chess community. Do you think Gotham will get GM? He's been playing good chess. So after some time, he possibly can. He's been playing good chess. It will come down to how good his nerves become, because in his previous classical games, his nerves have taken the better of him, and that's why he has not converted some winning positions. Otherwise, he's good with openings. He's good with openings. Uh, he's somewhat better at blitz than me. Although I think I have a positive score against him in blitz online. I've played some games from my anonymous ID and some from my real ID. Overall, I have a positive score against him in blitz. But he has a higher peak blitz chess.com than me. I have played Gotham multiple times, like 4 or 5 times, and I think I'm slightly ahead. I have a positive score. Not by much, but like maybe +1 or +2. +1 or +2. But not from my real ID. I think Gotham is not a noob. Gotham is not a noob. Gotham knows chess. He's just into streaming full time. But Gotham, the one thing I don't like about Gotham is him creating some content like guess the ELO. Like that sort of content, I think is a waste of time, waste of his potential. I don't think he should be doing that. Otherwise, he's a pretty strong player. Uh, yeah, but Bote sisters, I don't understand why they get so much popularity. So I think like Sagar Shah deserves, personally speaking, Sagar Shah and Hikaru deserve the number of subscribers. Then maybe you could make a case for Gotham. But yeah, Sagar Shah should get more subscribers. No, Gotham doesn't struggle against 1200 ELOs. Gotham doesn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Gotham was beating 2900 GMs if you check his latest videos. 2900 GMs. He was literally one move away. He was literally one move away from beating Korobov, Anton Korobov. But he made the mouse slip because he had 1 second on the clock. Yes, I like that about Sagar Shah. He's just there for promoting chess. Yes. Mate, he wasn't struggling against 1200. Might have been one accidental game where the 1200 was probably cheating. Might have been one game. Gotham beats GMs online. What are you talking about? Do you know what his chess.com blitz is? Peak chess.com blitz 2800 plus. You think he doesn't know how to play chess? You're joking, man. Come on. Gotham is a good chess player, but sometimes he makes the sort of content which doesn't make sense to me. But is, I mean, okay, we got trolls in the chat already. Like, I'm getting trolls while having like 160, 170 subscribers. He's just trolling. Okay, okay. Because some of these guys are actually serious. I've seen some serious people like this. Huh. It's probably trolling. Yeah, you're probably right, Ian. I mean, yeah, okay. Blushing. Nah, Atharv is trolling now. Atharv is trolling. He can't play Fisher chess here. Come on. Uh, I mean, yeah, the female stream, some of them have got looks. Okay, fine. I get that. But come on. Better than being a simp, you can look for some instructive chess, right? You can look for some instructive chess. Okay, Dina. I mean, Dina has showed some. At least Dina's better than Bote's sisters at chess. So Dina, in that sense, deserves more subscribers than them, but not more than Sagar Shah by any means. Not more than Sagar Shah. But Dina can play chess. Like if you see her game against Gaevsky, wow, that was one hell of a game. She beat Gaevsky, you know, Gukesh's coach. That game was spectacular, but she has dropped down a little bit in her classical rating. But overall, she's a decent chess player. Yeah. And she doesn't make like useless content. So there is some knowledge here and there in her. So I'm not too much against Dina. G5, what is Firouzja up to? What is Firouzja up to? He's playing for advantage. This guy is crazy. He's saying I want advantage. Forget about equality. Ah, I thought we were going to get a peaceful result, but then Firuja says, I don't want peace, I want, uh, he doesn't want peace. This is like This is like Kendrick Drake beef, but on the chessboard. In less than 20 moves? What do you mean, in less than 20 moves? This game, this is move number 23. IM is above FM. IM is above. One title above FM, yeah. But I am close to getting my IM title, which would be fun. Not too far, yeah, not too far. But Vaishali's position, shall we have a look? Vaishali's position. I'll have to go to the other side then. Oh, so, Kramling is streaming as well. Is she commentating or is she doing something else? Let's go to the women's section. We got Vaishali's game. Kramling's mother is playing, so she's probably commentating on that. Vaishali's position. Okay, it's an end game. There is a strong pawn here, but I don't know how this pawn will queen. The thing is, whenever the pawns are on two sides of the board, the bishop always has more power in these endgames. Bishop is stronger than a knight when the pawns are on both the sides of the boards as compared to one side. So the thing is, if you can somehow promote this pawn, you're winning. But what is the material count? So we have 3, 5, 5 and 2, 5, 6. So white is up a pawn, right? White is up a pawn, but this pawn may fall. Of course, white has some advantage due to the extra pawn. But is it enough to win? We'll have to figure that out. Vaishali's up on the clock though. What was the Roy Lopez? The Archangel variation, the Fabiano's course. Archangel variation, Bishop G5 stuff, E5 stuff. Okay, wow. H6 has to be preparation. Queen D2, crazy. King G7, takes. Okay, this was a full fight based on preparation. Yeah, okay. Well, Vaishali played pretty good chess here. She's played all the top lines except this rook e5 move. She had to give this check first. I don't know why, but she had to. But she's played very decently, considering she was very well prepared. Uh, Atharv, careful with the language there. How to be 2300 plus in chess.com? You have to have good understanding of your openings. You need to have good calculation ability, and you need to have knowledge of your classics. The, Plus, you should be analyzing your games thoroughly. All these things that make you a better chess player, essentially. So this position looks scary. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do that. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers. And if you can share your stream with your friends, share this stream with the friends, that would be great. I just told you how. You improve calculation ability from puzzles and courses. You improve analysis or knowledge from analyzing games, which you can find on ChessBase or in any games database. You improve your opening knowledge. There are several ways. You can always use an engine, but better to read some annotated games which give you better opening knowledge. So there are resources, plenty of resources. Some people make coverage on certain openings, like St. Louis Chess Club, Alex Banzea. They cover openings in depth, so that's a good one to check. Endgames, there are so many good books, like Silman's Endgame course. So there is a resource for everything. The only thing we have fewer resources for is evaluating positions. To evaluate positions, you have to analyze more and more, and you need to write down objective evaluations of certain positions in some sort of journal or notebook. So that's your roadmap for everything. Wait, Ian said something. Ding struggling on the board and on the clock. If you can learn one opening nicely, more than good enough. Yes, more than good enough. At least to a great extent. At least to a great extent. Like when you reach my level, when you reach like FIDE master, then you'll have to look at your repertoire. But until then, completely fine. I have a reasonably fixed repertoire as well. Like I don't play too many openings. Rook g8 check. Okay, possible. Maybe what Vishal is trying to do is just put this king on d8 and create complete blockade. Yeah, that's reasonable actually. You just put your king here and complete blockade. Knight e4 though could go to f6. Let's say f5, then knight g3, f4, then an outpost. Let's go back to the men's section or open section. Pragyananda found queen e2. This guy's on fire. He found queen e2. Crazy. One good move after other. Queen e2 was the only way to get advantage, significant advantage, and he found it. Brilliant. Now he just needs to take and play knight c2 or play knight c2 directly. Both work. Both of them work. How are you able to play not QID? Like, even I can't play perk properly. Although I have not analyzed perk. Ian, oh, he's asking Ian. Yeah, I'm curious as well, Ian. What's your rating? I am ignoring chat in the other stream chat. I don't even know where to get the other stream chat. I thought the chats were synced. Oh, shoot. I don't have that chat with me. Let's see. Shoot. Uh, yes, news. Yes, you're right. Guys, I don't know how of the other stream. Shoot, shoot. Oh, wow. Okay, we've got some chat here which I need to see. I'm not a GM, I'm an FM. Narayak, hi. Ansh, hi. How's it going? Stream sponsor chess fair. No. No. We got Bhai Kasam se form. What's up, dog? Thank you everyone for joining the stream. Guys, I can only read the chat in my normal stream, so you might want to join there. I can't read the chat without changing the thing. You might have to join the normal one. Please join the normal one. I'll just write it here. Okay. Yeah, please join the normal one. Yeah. Okay. Just open a new tab and open the other stream there. If I open the other tab, the board will get changed. Like maybe if you rewind, I just changed the tab, right? So this, it's a display capture. So it will get changed. Unless I can fix it somehow. Uh, it there is no right answer to that question, News. There is no right answer to that question. But maybe what I could do is I could go on my phone and open the short stream there, if there is chat there. But everyone who's watching on the short stream, go on to my normal one, not this vertical one. Just come over there. I'm replying there. I'm reading the chat there. So leave that one. Leave the shorts one. Come to this one. Uh, it really depends on your style. What kind of positions do you like? Do you like open or closed positions? First of all, let's narrow it down. Uh, which uh, which openings do you like? Like which type of positions do you like? Guys, let's say if I change my tab, can you tell me if the stream changes? I've fixed this tab. Does the stream change? Yeah, it does change, right? Okay, it does. So, yeah, I'll have to just go on my phone and answer. You like aggressive openings, then your best option, if you want wins. So, are you willing to study theory extensively or do you want less theory? That's also a good question. So, are you willing to study more theory or less theory? Pragyananda has taken on f6. This guy has been playing like an engine. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this game. I would recommend Grand Prix. At your level, Grand Prix can work very well. Your opponents most likely don't know the theory properly, but I recommend Grand Prix for sure. If you analyze that properly, you can score many wins. Grand Prix and even close Sicilian. The G3 setup. Yes. So Grand Prix. You should make a choice between Grand Prix and close Sicilian. The from white. For that, I agree. I agree. I agree with Jan. But for black, if you want to study one opening and aggressive, King's Indian. King's Indian would be my choice. King's Indian or Benoni. Benoni is less technically sound than King's Indian, although that's the consensus. That's the consensus. But you might find Benoni more to your nature. So that's an option. That's an option. Oh man, I feel so bad. I'm not able to read the chat on the other thing. Uh, I'm 19, guys. Whoever asked. Yeah, I know board is stretched on this one, so you might want to join the normal one. Join the normal one. London is too solid. It's not going to give you aggressive chances. London is not aggressive. It's a very solid opening. Yes, Ian, you're right. Yes, you're right. Is today Gukesh's birthday? It's also my close friend's birthday today. Didn't know that. Not referring to Gukesh, but also birthday of my close friend. Shout out to Talhat. Uh, Man, you need two screens to see other chats. Still, then just focus here. Now I understand how people were able to do that. Two screens, yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. So, yes. I know many people do have two screens. Like Eric Rosen has two screens. Both the chats, but how to install both the chats then? That's what I'm not able to figure out. Sorry about that. But I don't know how to get the chat on this stream. Yeah. Maybe I'll figure this one out after the stream. I thought the chats would be shared. Can someone tell me how many subscribers I have got? Yeah, I'll do my homework. Yeah, I will do my homework. Thank you for reminding me. But for now, Pragnananda has got this idea with knight e3, knight d5, which will give him a textbook good knight versus bad bishop situation. How many subscribers have we got, guys? Can you let me know the precise number? Queen e5, okay. We are playing without minor pieces, so higher chances of a draw. White has no significant weaknesses. Rook d2, rook d1 seems a reasonable plan. No problems. Yeah, Apex. Yeah, Apex is a good friend of mine. Apex. I've got 180 subscribers. Wow. Wow. We were like 168, 169. 168, 169 before the stream started. So we gained like 10 subscribers. 10, 11. That's nice. Maybe we'll get 200 soon. Share the stream with your friends. And join on this one if you're watching on shorts. Join the normal one. What do we have here? We got rook e8. Surprising that he didn't play c5. I thought c5 was natural. But now white can play f4, 5, harassing this bishop. And if you play c5 now, then bishop takes, king takes, f5 looks dangerous, reasonably dangerous for black. So I think Ding actually had to start with c5, unless I'm missing something. I think c5 was necessary. And Ding had this amazing idea that he could have played rook a6 and hoping for a rook left to g6, which is very instructive. And you defend g7 h6 forever. Amazing idea. You could also put the rook on b6 and attack this way. So amazing idea, but Ding missed this. Yeah, news. Thank you for the engagement. But thank you everyone. Atharv has been very active. Ian has been very active. Uh, who else was active? Ram is not in the chat today. Neither is Candy Shop owner. But you guys have been very appreciative and supportive of the stream. So I sincerely am thankful for that. Okay, knight c2 played. Pragyananda is making one good move after the other. Now Carlson is thinking. Carlson is thinking. Yeah, could be a win for Pragyananda. This one wouldn't be surprised. This one, okay, rook doubling is taking place as we predicted. So also easy. Yeah, more likely than not to be a draw. Most likely a draw. Most likely a draw. Most likely a draw. Yeah, this one is not as interesting. Although Ali Reza is still trying for something, I don't think he'll get something. My fear is that he might overextend and go on to lose. If he doesn't overextend, it's a draw. This one, Fabiano has some chances. After f4, he has some solid chances. f4, f5 idea. So let's say you move this knight to get space for this bishop. Then you have f5. And you get bishop g7 sack. King takes, knight h5 check. King goes back. Queen d4, queen g7 ideas. So that's very convenient. Who taught you chess? A friend. A friend. A friend. So that. I need to fix the thing on the short stream as well. Yeah. I'll do the homework today and I'll make the short stream better tomorrow as well. Gotta read the chat. Yep. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, no more moves to be made. No, here. No updates. So I don't know what to commentate on. Gotham, come on. News. Can we stop talking about Gotham? Yeah. What else do you guys want me to talk about or commentate on? Any chess openings, other questions in general? Unrated. Unrated. Friend who taught me chess is unrated. Never played a FIDE tournament in his life. He quit chess very early, I think. Yeah, that's nice. And I was 11 when I learned chess. Late by professional standards. Mate, if you hate Gotham, Gotham, if you hate Gotham, okay, that's your opinion. Uh, why you become obsessed? Because I like maths a lot. I'm good at maths, and I think it was like natural for me to like chess as well. strategic game, right? You win because of your intellect and your strategy. I think that was the appeal to me. So yeah, it was nice. Like those days were good. Beating friends at chess was always a good feeling. So I think th- that was something. I was good at the game and I worked hard. So yeah, there was nothing not to. No, I'm not a science guy. I'm not a science guy. And also, I live in London, so I can't do IIT. I'm already in university. Maybe. Oh, so you're saying maybe for masters? Yeah, maybe. But why won't I study here? Okay, it's expensive to study here, so maybe. Yeah, it's a possibility. Although an unlikely one. I'm not a science guy. I am a maths guy. Until then, still waiting for some moves to happen here. Okay. Carlsen is in big trouble. Big trouble after knight d5. Queen c4, queen g4. White has clear advantage. Unless he can play this knight to d5 and avoid any queen c4s. Nope, that doesn't work because black can eliminate his bad bishop. So better to play. Even king h2 is possible. And you claim that after takes you can't take here since b6 hangs. Both options are possible. Personally speaking, I like knight d5 more. I think it's more accurate. I don't know why I think it's more accurate, but optically speaking, it looks more. This looks more principled to me. Why you are in London? Dad's work. You know, he job transfer. Yeah. So that. Uh, until then, let's see what happens here. Queen g4. Queen g4. As you had to let me know that things were going on the short stream earlier. Why tell me now? Why tell me now? Were going on the short stream earlier. Why tell me now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Until then, I'll just look at other things. Here, queen g4, queen f6. Nothing special here. Nothing special here anymore. Still waiting for f4 to be played. Still, any updates here or not? Bishop g5, put knight d5, right? Yeah, nothing more to be played here. Too slow. Too slow. Yeah, I only live in London now. Yes. I mean, I went to India for like one summer, like I think last year or maybe 2 years ago. So I came back for a while, but that was about it. That was about it. Still looking for some moves, guys. Still looking for some moves. If you, yeah, I mean, 95, and I think Pragnananda has some big advantage. What more to say here? What more to say? No, I'm from the north. Hyderabad is a bit more in the south. So I'm from Delhi, New Delhi. Oh yeah, but Fabiano still waiting for f4 to be played here. Queen g4. I don't have British citizenship yet. I think I get it either this year or next year. No, most likely next year. Next year or 2 years after, sorry. 2025 or 2026. That's when I get the citizenship. So, Let's continue. Nothing played here, nothing played here. What do I continue with? Huh. Let me just mention this since we have nothing to do. I was looking at this one game, Viktor Korchnoi versus Boris Sapasky, when they were kids, like when they were like 11 years old, both of them. Or maybe like slight difference based on when they were born. Both of them were really young. And Viktor Korchnoi, one of the best players of all time as well, you can argue, or one of the greatest players to never become a world champion. So what happened was these guys played each other in a tournament, and Viktor Korchnoi won in 13 moves. And the legend goes that Sapasky, who was 11 years old at the time, went out of the playing hall crying after that game. You can have a look at that game if you guys are interested. I thought that was a nice thing to mention there, since the moves are not being played on any of the boards. Yeah. So thought I might just mention that. That was a nice story. I'm trying to recall any other stories. I think if you read the book Zurich 1953, what happened was I think Bronstein was forced by the Russians to lose a game or something like that. That was also a very interesting instance because they wanted Smyslov to win or something. Smyslov. Vaguely, I can recall something like that. Another instance was that Paul Keres could not contest for the World Championship match, Grandmaster Paul Keres, because World War II or World War One took place. So he lost his only opportunity, maybe the only opportunity, to play for the World Championship title and to become a world champion, possibly. Unlucky, very unlucky. He could not get that opportunity. Let's continue. Queen d2, Hikaru, Prug, King h1. Slight error, but nothing special. I mean, the idea is similar. You move out of the diagonal. But if you play f6 now, stopping any queen g5s, the problem here is the slight problem is you can't play b3 on the account of b5. And this is good for black because he gains some freeing counterplay. Still, white is better, but not as easy. What was the difference here? If you were to play king h2 and f6, you had rook f3. And why does that differ if there is a king on h1 or if there is a king on h2? Why can't I do the same thing? Castle, knight d5, rook f7 to defend knight e7, knight takes b6. Oh, at some point this pawn will get taken away and you want to play g4 at some point, which you don't have if the king stands on h1. I think that's the reason. Yeah, g4 is difficult. But what if your dad again have transfer? Well, unlikely, but if we do, then yeah, we'll have to move. What else to do? Unlikely though. What do we have here? Is Fabi choking? He didn't play f4. Ah, come on. F4 would have been nice. But what's not there to like about f4? What did he miss? That's what I'm interested in. Because this, of course, is so nice. And then you play f5. What did he not like? Let's think. Did he not like black playing f5? But then he has knight h5, which attacks g7. So that could not be it. Yeah, not clear to me at all what he didn't like after f4. I think he lost two games in a row. I think even yesterday he lost, so he's a bit tilted. But that would be about it. Yeah. I can see some people are joining the short stream. Guys, hop onto the normal one. Leave the vertical one and hop onto the normal one. I'm running two streams. You'll find it on my channel. And if you have not subscribed, I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers. Please help me get there. Nothing here, nothing here. And yeah, still waiting for some moves. Knight b6 hasn't been played. Yeah, too slow for me. f6 play as expected. a4 is also a good move, stopping b5 forever. Actually, you know what? Now I think a4 is the best move. You stop b5. That's only way to get counterplay for black. I like this move a lot. Like this move a lot. Yeah, if Pragyananda plays a4, he's not losing this game. Never. Let's see if he finds it. a4, personal preference. You can't take b6 hangs and then d6 hangs. Still no moves here. I thought Hikaru would double without thinking. It's pretty obvious to double, no? What is he calculating? Maybe d3, still putting pressure here. If you take, then maybe, just maybe rook d4. Attacking the queen, queen h5, king g7. And yeah, white has an extra pawn, but black has more activity, more dominant position. So yeah, no chances for white to win here. Maybe Hikaru doesn't want this. We can try to trade queens, but black will of course refuse and grind this out for as long as he wants. That's the thing. What do you think about this game? Do you still think it's going to be a draw? What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm reading the chat, nothing more. Okay. Draw and Hikaru in Armageddon. Yeah, if Hikaru gets into Armageddon, yeah, I'm placing my bets on Hikaru, yes. Yep. So that's that. Still looking for other things to happen. A4 not yet played, F4 not yet played, no moves here. We are still waiting, guys. Still waiting. Let's play. I can't. I have to commentate. This is my job right now. Yeah, I have to commentate. I mean, but I will. What I could do is I could make a playing with subscribers stream in let's say 2 o'clock Indian time, around that. Would that work for you guys? 2 o'clock Indian time, playing with viewers or playing with subscribers, or maybe like 12 o'clock Indian time. Would that work? Do let me know. 12 o'clock Indian time, playing with subscribers stream. Could that work? Somewhere around that time. Maybe 4 o'clock Indian time, 5 o'clock Indian time. You tell me what time, but it has to be before this tournament starts. So let me know. Until then, so this is why you need a co-commentator to keep you engaged while there are no moves on the board. Queen c6 played. Okay, finally I have something to talk about. One thing Fabiano could do is play b4, and should everything get exchanged, Fabiano gets an outside pass pawn and he gets a firm blockade on d4, which is possibility. Rook b8 is a possibility. Queen d2 back. You're not losing the pawn. Well, you sort of are. But knight h5, knight h7, bishop h6 tricks could occur. Sacrificing for activity has been a recurring theme in this tournament. Not AM, PM, of course. Come on. You think I'll run a stream at 4 o'clock AM, 4 AM Indian time. You think I'm crazy? But yeah, Queen F6 played. Queen F6 played. Let me see how many subscribers I got. 180. Okay, guys, I need more subscribers. You guys need to subscribe if you're watching. I'm trying to get 200. Why am I commentating here? I'm just building my channel up, no? And I enjoy doing this. I love engaging with you guys. So, and sharing my chess knowledge. In fact, like, I really love to teach. I really love to share my knowledge. And like, unlike others, I'm not like a fake guru. So, I've like a title. That means I genuinely have some knowledge which I wish to share with you guys. Maybe in the future I'll be making money from this, from ads, like normal things. But I have no intention of, getting like paid memberships or something like this for the community. No one's paying me to do this stream. I will only do basic monetization in the future, like ads, maybe one-to-one coaching if someone wants to do that with me. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. News. I completely agree. I need to play with the viewers, but the commentary is going on, so I can't do that right now. Do you think it would be better if I played with viewers tomorrow instead of commentating round four? You think that would be something? If I play viewers tomorrow instead of doing this stream? My question is, would people want to watch the commentary or the stream or the playing thing? That's a good question. That's a good question. So until then, I'm just here. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna end soon because these games are dry and I've already been commentating for 2.5 hours. So I'll be ending soon unless I get something spicy. Nothing here, nothing here. Let's see. Let's wait for a little bit more. Until then, yeah, guys, what else to do? Subscribe if you haven't already. Please, please. Ah, okay. Okay. So that's an option. Have you seen those videos where a chess position is shown to Magnus and he can identify the players and the year instantly? Is that something all GMs can do? Is this something you can do? I can do it, but I don't have as much knowledge as Carlson. So I can do it for some positions. I can do it for many positions, but not as many as Carlson. Check your message. Check your message where? Like Telegram or where? I don't see a message. So speedrun streams. I could do that. I'll have to gain special permission from chess.com for that. But we can do a speedrun stream. Yeah, why not? Well, I think viewers want to play, so that one maybe works a little bit better because viewers actually get to engage. Until then, Gambit speedruns. Yeah, mainly people want to watch your gameplay and your move thinking. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I did gain some subscribers when I did that stream, playing with viewers. So that's definitely in the schedule. Yeah, guys, seems like there are no moves being made. So just gonna make one last check. No moves here. Queen a4 here played. Let me refresh. Okay, queen check can go on. Bishop d6 can come in, attacking the rook. You can also have knight f5 because you can't take since the rook hangs. Quite a few ideas here, but nothing special going on in either games. I will be keeping an eye on Pragyana's game because I expect him to get a positive result if possible. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen some of his streams. Let me do that actually. Sakev is still there. He's my thumbnail editor. Sometimes he comes on the stream. Sakev, if you are still there, I might need a thumbnail for that. Speedrun streams. Yeah, we can do that. But for now, guys, I'll be exiting. It was a great pleasure chatting you with guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Awesome to have you guys here. Thank you very much. I'm gonna end the stream.